Welcome to my YouTube channel Luxury Legends. You're looking at one of the most important electric vehicles in the US market right now. It's not a luxury EV, it's not trying to break lap records, and it's not chasing insane acceleration figures. What it is doing, though, is bringing electric mobility to the masses in a way that actually makes sense. Meet the 2025 Chevrolet Equinox EV. Affordable, good-looking, practical, and, this might surprise you, actually kind of cool. Let's talk about why the Equinox EV might be the most crucial EV Chevrolet has ever built. First off, let's talk price. When GM said they were going to bring an electric vehicle to market starting around $30,000, people were skeptical. Understandably so. EVs have a reputation for being expensive, and for a long time, that reputation was completely accurate. But Chevy pulled it off. The base trim of the 2025 Equinox EV, called the 1LT, is priced at around $34,995 before any federal or state tax incentives. And yes, it qualifies for the full $7,500 federal tax credit, which means that in many cases, you're looking at a starting price in the $27,000 range. That's unheard of for an EV this size. Now, the Equinox EV isn't just some barebones electric car to hit a price point. It's actually built on GM's new Ultium platform. That's the same EV architecture that underpins vehicles like the Cadillac LYRIQ and the Hummer EV. Obviously, the Equinox isn't anywhere near those in terms of performance or luxury, but it means you're getting a solid, scalable foundation that's built specifically for electric vehicles. Design-wise, this thing looks great. Chevy has really leaned into a clean, modern aesthetic. It's not overly aggressive, not overly futuristic, just sharp and contemporary. The front end ditches the traditional grille and replaces it with a smooth, closed-off face. The lighting signature is sleek, with a full-width LED light bar and slim headlights that give it a very upscale vibe. The rear is equally tidy, with a similar light bar setup and a slightly sporty stance. It doesn't scream for attention, but it's definitely not bland. The 2025 Equinox EV comes in 5 trims: 1LT, 2LT, 3LT, 2 rupees, and 3 rupees. You can think of the LT trims as the more traditional-looking versions, and the RS trims as the sporty variants. The RS models have blacked-out accents, bigger wheels, and a slightly more aggressive design. But no matter which trim you go for, the basic proportions and body lines are solid. Let's step inside. This is where Chevy really surprised us. The interior is way more premium than you'd expect at this price point. You get a large 17.7-inch touchscreen standard on most trims, and even the base models get a solid 11-inch digital driver display. The infotainment system is snappy and easy to use, and thankfully, it still has physical buttons for key climate controls. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard, and so is a decent amount of USB ports for charging. The materials inside feel nice. Of course, it's not Cadillac-level premium, but it's far from feeling cheap. Soft touch surfaces, interesting textures, and a smart layout make the cabin feel well thought out. The RS trims get red accents and sportier seats, while the LT trims lean more toward comfort and simplicity. And because there's no transmission tunnel, you get more usable interior space, especially in the center console area. Space-wise, the Equinox EV delivers. There's plenty of room for 5 passengers, and the rear seat legroom is surprisingly generous. Even tall passengers will feel comfortable back there. Cargo space is solid too, with over 57 cubic feet of room when you fold the rear seats. And while there's no front trunk, or frunk, like you see on some other EVs, the rear cargo area is deep and wide, and the load floor is low, making it easy to haul stuff. Now, let's talk performance and range. The base models are front-wheel drive and produce 210 horsepower and 242 pound-feet of torque. If you opt for the all-wheel drive version, power jumps to 290 horsepower and 346 pound-feet of torque. It's not going to pin you to your seat, but it's more than enough for daily driving, highway merging, and even a bit of fun. The AWD version has a nice kick when you put your foot down, and the low-end torque, something EVs do so well, is immediately noticeable. As for range, the numbers are impressive. The front-wheel drive versions offer up to 319 miles of EPA estimated range, while the AWD variants get slightly less, around 285 miles. That's more than enough for most people's weekly driving needs without ever having to think about charging until the weekend. And when you do need to charge, the Equinox EV supports DC fast charging up to 150 kilowatts. That means you can add about 70 miles of range in just 10 minutes. Plug it in while grabbing a coffee, and you're good to go. On the road, the Equinox EV drives like a refined compact SUV. It's quiet, composed, and smooth. The ride is comfortable without feeling floaty, and the steering is light but accurate. It's not a performance SUV, and it doesn't pretend to be one, but it handles city streets, twisty roads, and freeway cruising with ease. One-pedal driving is available, which lets you slow down just by lifting off the accelerator, and it's super intuitive after just a few minutes behind the wheel. Safety is another strong point. Chevy includes a ton of standard safety features across the board, including automatic emergency braking, forward collision alert, lane keep assist, and more. Higher trims offer Super Cruise, GM's hands-free driving system that works on over 400,000 miles of compatible roads in the US and Canada. And yes, it works surprisingly well. Super Cruise keeps the vehicle centered, maintains speed, and can even change lanes automatically when prompted. So who is the Equinox EV for? Well, honestly, it's for a lot of people. It's for families looking to go electric without breaking the bank. It's for commuters who want a comfortable, tech-loaded ride with low operating costs. It's for people who don't want to give up the practicality of an SUV but are ready to ditch gas. And maybe most importantly, it's for people who've been waiting for EVs to become truly mainstream and attainable. This is it. Let's also talk a bit about ownership. One of the biggest perks of EVs is the lower cost of maintenance. No oil changes, fewer moving parts, and regenerative braking that reduces wear on your brake pads. Over time, this adds up to big savings. And if you're charging at home, your fuel cost drops significantly compared to gas. Chevy estimates that the average driver can save hundreds of dollars per year just by switching to an EV. And for those worried about charging infrastructure, yes, it's still growing, but it's getting better fast. With access to major networks like EVgo, Electrify America, and now GM's collaboration with Tesla's supercharger network, you're not left hunting for a plug. Plus, the Equinox EV uses the new NACS connector, meaning it's fully compatible with Tesla's growing network of chargers. In a market full of expensive electric SUVs with gimmicks and flash, the 2025 Chevrolet Equinox EV is a breath of fresh air. It's simple, smart, and surprisingly stylish. It's not trying to be the fastest, the fanciest, or the flashiest. It's just trying to be a great electric car that people can actually afford. And in that mission, Chevy has absolutely nailed it. This isn't just a new chapter for the Equinox nameplate, it's a whole new playbook for affordable electric vehicles in America. It's the EV that makes sense. No hype, no nonsense, just a solid, capable, and good-looking electric SUV that's ready to meet the moment. So if you've been waiting for the right EV at the right price, the 2025 Chevrolet Equinox EV might just be the one. And judging by what we've seen, it could very well become the electric SUV that finally tips the scales for mainstream America. Not just because it's cheap. Not just because it's electric. But because it's good. Really good.